How's it going, everyone? This is the old gaming blog here with some Black Ops 2 gameplay for you guys. And I got a new topic that I want to talk about, which is kids playing mature games, or not, I wouldn't say kids just playing games in general, but more games that were supposed for the adult audiences. Alright, so the M rating, which basically is for 17 plus people, is just a recommended rating. It's not necessarily required. So what this means is, when you see an M rating in a game, it just means it's recommended for a person that is, or people of course, that are from older than 17. But this is not a requirement. Of course, that, younger kids can play this. You don't necessarily have to be that age. But you do need a, consenting adult parent to, just get you that for you, to allow you to play it. And this is currently how it is. This is how our rating systems are and whatnot. Obviously, it differs in between countries. Some countries are more strict than others, but that's that's a little bit different. So, when you got a kid playing a video game, especially if it's if it's adult and whatnot, that's one thing. Which I guess it's kind of all right in a way. Don't quote me on that though. But when you have a kid playing a multiplayer game, kind of like Call of Duty or even GTA, then it's when you start, I wouldn't say have a problem, then it's when you start to, I don't know, probably getting out of a safety zone, if you know what I mean. Right. So, the mental maturity of a child is important. What this means is there are kids. I'm talking about, when I say child or kids, I'm talking about like 10-year-olds and under, or a little bit over, like 10, 12-year-olds, something like that. Really young kids. And the mental maturity of a child or of a kid is what basically puts in play. And that was a good snipe. It's what basically puts into play in this, right? Because I've seen a lot of young kids, like 12, 13, 14-year-olds, which is like more teenagers or whatever, that are really mature for their age, that they don't just go on mic and freaking shout obscenities at you or whatever. They actually, team players and have good opinions and whatnot. They have a good head on their shoulders and they're young, but you can already tell they're very mature for their age. And then you got those little kids that just basically scream at you and just swear every single swear word that they can because they think it's cool and because they just learned a new word and they wanna just shout it and whatever. Those are really just little kids, which their mental maturity is very low because they're small, whatever. Now, one thing that I also should say about this is the mute button in the game is important, right? You do have a mute button, especially in Black Ops 2. You can just press one button, mute everybody that's not in your party, or everybody that you just don't want to listen to. I can understand that, like, if you have a microphone or a good headset, that you want to communicate with your teammates. That's important, to communicate with other teammates that also have mics and that can communicate with you. That's important. That's good for tactics. That's good for everything. Every freaking game that I have, and the other team has microphones, or I'm playing with subscribers or whatever, and we're communicating with each other, we win on that game like you wouldn't believe. I even have gameplays. I think this is one. Probably, I'm not sure if this is one of them, but I know I have gameplays where I'm talking, with subscribers and stuff through the microphone, and just PSN friends in general, or just the other teammates, and special on domination as well, and we're just really dominating and the other team quits and whatnot. I have some gameplays that I'm gonna put up there, but regardless, it's important to talk, but the thing is, you gotta communicate important stuff. It's not just stupid crap or kids with really squeaky voices just talking crap, talking smack, or whatever you'd say. Another part of that is if you have a good headset, especially the one I have, which is a I want to throw a tomahawk on him. Especially the one I have an Astro headset, which those go for about $200. Just mine was a little cheaper than that because it's a discontinued one, but nevertheless, it's a good headset, right? And there's people that have really good headsets. Now you're not gonna pay $200 for a headset to hear better who slept with your mom last night, or just to hear mom jokes, or just to hear squeaky voices screaming at you, cussing and insulting you, right? I would suggest you bought that to hear the game better and to hear the footsteps better and to hear everything so you can have a more immersive experience and become a better player. So you gotta keep that in mind as well. It's not just the communication part that gets ruined, but it's also your in-game audio. So use the mute button, that's important as well, to avoid certain situations. That's what I do most of the times anyways. Alright. I'm going to talk about when I was a kid, for example. So, because it's easy to talk about other kids and other parents and whatnot, but you got to kind of step into those shoes for a little bit just to see what's going on. Alright, so when I was a kid, there weren't many mature games. There are actually really few mature games. It was the 8-bit and 16-bit era. Many of you probably don't know what that is, but it was games with really, you know, I wouldn't say poor graphics, but I'd say very different from what we see nowadays. Platforming games and whatnot, that was, you know, what we used to see more. Like Sonic the Hedgehog, Super Mario, and a lot of duck hunting and whatnot. There weren't many violence in those games, but there were some games with violence later on, and to what we have today, which is pretty much every single game has violence in it, but that's another story. Basically, the games I used to play, like Sonic, for example, you used to like jump on bees, and then they would turn into squirrels that would run away. That's the basic gist of it. You jump onto an enemy that you don't know what it is. You just jump on it, and it turns into a squirrel or some other like cute animal like that, and it just runs away. That was a double kill. Today, obviously, it's different, you know, you don't see any of that anymore. You just see killing and shooting people. I just shot this guy in the freaking face and there's blood all over the place and whatever. You know, there's a lot of violence. That jumping into squirrels and stuff like that just doesn't cut it anymore. But we did have, you know, the evolution of that was we did have Mortal Kombat, which kind of introduced a little bit more violence than what pretty much we're used to at that time. Which actually, Mortal Kombat didn't even had any violence on the Super Nintendo. That's why the Sega version was better, because it had a lot of violence in it. Anyways, so yeah, we did have Mortal Kombat, which me and my friend used to love playing it, and used to know all like the fatalities on it and all the tricks in there. And it used to be really gory fatalities. For the time, it was really something that we never had seen before, right? Which was pretty much, you know, just grabbing a knife and opening the other person in half, or eating them and spitting their bones out. It was really, you know, especially for a, you know, I think that was 16-bit era. That was really freaking gory. But we didn't took it that way, you know what I mean? We had tons of fun and used to go, yeah, you know, it just that happened. But again, I think we're more like 11, 12-year-old maybe. We're starting to get into our teens, and we still have a lot of fun playing it, and like go to school and talk with other friends about, you know, oh, I've done this fatality and I can do that one, and I know this trick and I know the other trick. But that was a little bit different, you know. We were a bit more mature, and violence, it just was different than today. All right, it wasn't online or anything. We didn't even have the internet at home, let alone in our video games consoles. You know what I mean? But after that, we used to have Resident Evil, which was, again, more violence in horror and scary crap, which was basically just shooting zombies, pretty much, and see dead bodies and see monsters and stuff. But that's more scary than it is violent, really. But then again, it implies a more maturity level to play those games. Now, if you're a little kid, not only you're going to get nightmares and you're going to pee your bed, but, I don't know, you're just not going to have that much fun. Because again, it is a solo game. We're talking about single-player games, right? We're not talking about multiplayer ones. And now, most games are for violence and are just gory because they're intended for adult audiences, right? Most of them nowadays are. I'm not talking about Little Big Planet or anything like that. I'm talking about, you know, like Call of Duties and GTA and other games that are out there, you know. They're more targeted for adult audiences because that's where your hardcore gamers market are at. You know, it's not a little kid. Little kids have school. They come out of school, you know, they play whatever, Pokemons or Call of Duty, you know, nowadays. So that's a little bit different, you know. But it is targeted to hardcore gamers because there's the ones who's gonna keep buying your game every year when you launch a new game and gonna keep making videos of it on YouTube's and you know, keep getting all your DLCs and all your freaking bacon camos and whatever. So it's targeted at them. Of course they carry a lot of influence in kids, and not just that, but you gotta think that it's not just the influence that you put on kids, but it's more like it's what's popular nowadays, you know what I mean? Everybody's playing Call of Duty. Of course, you're gonna have younger kids playing Call of Duty as well. Everybody does it, so you know, why shouldn't they? So, yeah, I guess this is for this commentary, guys. Leave me your opinions on the comment section. Like, if you're young and whatnot, how do you play your games, and do you really think it's okay to play adult games, or should you just, I don't know, maybe not play games of your age? My opinion is, if you're a good mature kid, you can play whatever games you want. If you're one of them that just shouts on your microphone obscenities, then you need to put it down and you know, go read a book or something. It's been the Avaliable Blog. Thanks for watching. Give it a rating if you like, and subscribe.